Hey guys, so I wanted to make a list of my favorite games of 2021 since I've played a lot of new ones and well, there were some really good ones and some, well, not so great ones. And yeah, I think it's a nice video for myself as well to look back on and to remember the gaming year 2021. So I'm hopefully going to edit and post this before February or March, but yeah, I'll do my best. So I made a top 10 of my favorite releases of 2021. But I also wanted to mention my worst game of 2021 and my favorite older game that I've played a lot in 2021. So, and perhaps some honorable mentions. Yeah, that sounds like it's gonna be quite a long video. So I'm gonna try to keep it very short, my reasoning per game. So it doesn't get extremely boring, hopefully. So let's start with my honorable mentions. So I just found out that Medieval Dynasty is actually not a 2021 game. I thought it was, but it came out in 2020 and I totally missed that. So it's not going to be on my list because I wanted to mention it as an honorable mention, but now it doesn't count. I haven't played Deathloop and I wanted to make Halo Infinite my honorable mention. The most important one at least, because it seems really good, but I've only just started the campaign and so I don't feel like I can give any judgment on it yet. It would probably be on most other people's top 10 lists, but it's not going to be on mine for that reason. Seems really fun so far though. Other honorable mention should be Loop Hero, because it is a very fun roguelike, very original. You literally go in loops all the time, but with new enemy spawning, and there's a lot of strategy involved. I really loved it, and when I first played it I thought it was definitely going to make my final top 10. I'm sure not everyone would agree with me on this, but I got bored after a bit, so I stopped playing it, and it would probably be my number 11 if I made a top 11. Then my number 12 would have been Dyson Sphere Program, and 13 maybe Jurassic World Evolution or Humankind. Yeah, but I'm not making a top 13 or 14, so those are my honorable mentions. Those I liked, but I'm not gonna put them on the list. So my worst game of 2021, worst release in my opinion, was Biomutant, because the world felt empty. The character creation was quite fun, but after that everything just went downhill. It seemed like choices would matter at first, but actually they didn't matter at all, and then it was just side quests that sent you out into the world to collect things that didn't really matter. And the main quest line was just conquer this camp, then conquer this camp, then do the exact same thing and conquer this camp. And it just didn't feel alive or interesting to me at all. So yeah, it was a disappointment to me. As for favorite older game, I was thinking of a few that I've played this year that I feel like were important to me this year, which is Witcher 3, Wild Hunt, as every year of course, Diablo 3, which I've played quite a bit, Terraria, Binding of Isaac, Minecraft maybe, Skyrim as usual, Splitgate, but actually that was new for me personally, but it's an older game so it counts. Final Fantasy Online, and all of those are really amazing of course, but I think the one game that I've played more than any of these this past year, the one older game, although it's not actually that old, it's the one I've played almost on a daily basis, Genshin Impact. So I'm going to give this one to Genshin Impact. Okay, that brings us to my actual top 10 best releases of 2021. So at number 10 I wanted to put Hellish Court, because I think it's very, very good combat. It's very realistic, and although I'm not an expert on medieval warfare, it does feel that way. It does, like, if you lose, you really feel like you it's because you made a mistake. You can really like respond to the one that's facing you. It's still in early access, I believe, so it's gonna be even better, but I'm counting early access games as well in this list, so I think it's very good. Number 9 for me would be Naraka Blade Point, and I'm sure not everyone would share that opinion, but I think it's a pretty great game. I really love how extremely detailed the character creation is. You can really make anything in that game. And I personally, in my Battle Royale games, I do think it's fun to have this like personalized character. Yeah, so the creative freedom is just a nice bonus. But of course, the combat's also really fun. I like that it's a melee Battle Royale because that's something I've been missing a bit. So martial arts style games can be a bit like over the top in their combat sometimes, but I feel like this one is not too crazy. And balancing can be an issue, I guess, with certain character. I do feel like you can trick your way to the top a little bit, but it's just a fun game if you like melee at Battle Royale. Number 8, Back 4 Blood. I enjoyed it. It's fun to play with friends. I feel like it's quite good. Still not totally a fan of the card system. I placed it in number 8 because I think it's good and I enjoyed it, but I like Left 4 Dead 2 better. It's as simple as that. If I now want to shoot zombies with my gaming squad, then if I have to choose between those two, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Left 4 Dead. So number 7, Chivalry 2, which I really liked. I really liked the battle cries, just hack/medieval combat. I had so much fun playing that. I want to play it more often, but I never seem to have the time. But I really want to play it more often. I like that it's kept this sense of humor, which the latest Battlefield just seems to ignore. I really just, that sort of game, it has to be a bit cheesy, you know, with over-the-top battle cries and just swinging at X around is fun. Or a gun, if it's Battlefield. The only reason, I guess, why I can't place it higher is because it's not really, well, super special or anything. It doesn't, like, you can also play War now and get a similar experience, I feel. So, yeah, it's just a really great game, but not revolutionary. Number 6, It Takes Two. I had a lot of fun playing that. It's a great co-op game. I really liked this as a couch co-op, but must say I wasn't that interested in the characters or the storyline that much. I know that some people really liked the whole divorced or, well, about to divorce parents thing, but I found them both a little bit annoying, but it's a very beautiful world. The stuff with the squirrels was just really fun. Yeah, overall good game. Deserves the 6th spot. Right, number 5, Age of Empires 4. Age of Empires 4. It was really fun. Lots of strategy involved. It had this awesome campaign mode. Yes, that is really mostly the reason why I want to place it high on my list. I really liked the introductions in the campaign with the historical stuff, the documentary style. It made it the whole game more interesting to me. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. Then number 4, and this is a game I really enjoyed playing, and I had the privilege of actually playing it before release, so that was really awesome. I don't think it's the best Resident Evil game, probably. I don't think it's extremely original and great. I wasn't actually that scared during the game. I was hardly scared at all, actually, besides one particular part. But I did really enjoy myself, so I still think it deserves a high place. And I especially liked the first half of the game. The second half was less interesting to me. So that means the part with House Beneviento, which was this super scary escape room, which was really, really cool. And Castle Dimitrescu, because I just liked the whole look of the place, the atmosphere of the place, this gothic, spooky stuff going on. And the village itself, it also had this spooky vibe. So I just liked exploring that more than anything, really. I liked the gameplay too, but mostly the exploring part, just walking through that castle, was really cool to me. I enjoyed it a lot. So, yeah. So that means I'm about to get to my top 3. And in third place, I'm going to put Valheim. Because I played Valheim a lot this year. I absolutely loved it. And I also liked the new stuff that was added in tiny updates as well as Heart at Home. I like the whole crafting survival genre. So that's a plus. And I like Viking stuff. So that's also a plus. And yeah, it offers a lot of creative value, which makes me come back to it. But at the same time, it does, of course, feel like an unfinished game still, and it's still getting more updates. It's still in early access, but that is not a reason for me to downgrade it on my list. And don't forget that this is my personal list of games that I thought were best / I enjoyed the most. So I just really loved playing Valheim. So third place. Oh, and the soundtrack. I really like the soundtrack, especially when sailing. It's just so beautiful and relaxing. It makes me feel excited. I don't know. Yeah, it's a good soundtrack. Okay, number 2, Inscription. Another indie game, because it's very, I felt like there were like plot twists around every corner and lots of new stuff. And from the beginning I was like, oh, this is a really good game, but this is probably it. And then something happened and the whole game turned around and it was amazing, really. I think if I had to pick a game of this year that was actually the most original, the most interesting gameplay, I would say it was Inscription. I also liked that it was a card game, but it was also quite spooky, and it really had this horror element, which was really well done. Fun puzzles as well. Just lots of different things thrown together, and somehow it worked. And then my number 1 for this year, and that was just a game that I loved so much. The Forgotten City. So it's basically a Skyrim mod, but now a standalone game, and it takes place in ancient Rome, which is already something that I really love. And it had this awesome designed city and this mystery, and from the get-go you're gonna like, oh, this is spooky, what's going on here? Something is terribly wrong in this place. And then you talk to all kinds of NPCs. They all have this very interesting, they're very like fleshed out. They all have this detailed backstory and their own characters. Yeah, and of course your actions matter, and you piece by piece you're gonna find out stuff about the mystery, and you gotta piece things together, you gotta solve puzzles, and it's all the while you're getting really creeped out. And there's a really, really spooky combat horror section in the game as well. And one more thing that was great about that game is that the canon ending, because of course there are different endings, but the canon ending, without spoiling anything, don't worry, but it was all your questions are gonna be answered. So you're gonna have a satisfying ending if you reach them all. And I really love that. I hate it when there's like this mystery and it's like going towards a grand reveal and then nothing happens. It just falls flat. But that doesn't happen here, so that's great. So yeah, I would really recommend playing The Forgotten City. It's well worth your time. It's on Xbox Game Pass, which is where I played it. So if you have that, you should definitely you should click away this video, and I'm knocking over my microphone. You should click away this video and just download it right away. Yeah. And I would be totally fine anyway with you clicking away this video now, because I'm done. That was it. That was my top 10. I hope you liked it, and bye bye.